Hello, and welcome to Chamber Showcase. I'm Lisa O'Loughlin, the host of the show, and as always, it gives me great pleasure to bring information and news to our city, about the Chamber of Commerce, and what's happening around town. It's late August, summer's coming to a close, kids are going back to school. The Chamber, although we never stopped for the summer, we were a little quieter, but we are gearing up for a very busy fall with lots of activities coming up. And I always invite you to go to the Chamber website and see what's going on, and don't miss any of our special events. The last big event we had was our Super Bowl, which is not football Super Bowl, it is a bowling Super Bowl. And we hold it down at Mix 360. It was a fundraiser for the Chinese Cultural Connection, as well as just a great night of networking with lots of teams dressing up crazy, bowling, eating, and having a great time. And I actually recorded our last show live at the Super Bowl just to show you what kind of fun it was. So if you haven't caught that video, you can always go to MATV, Video on Demand, Chamber Showcase, and you can see the fun we had at the Super Bowl. The other event that just finished for us was our Year of Dining, which is a fundraiser. We started with the Taste of Malden, and we pulled the winner. We had a networking event at El Portro, great Mexican food if you've not tried it, down the end of Highland Ave. And the winner of this year's Year of Dining was our former executive director, Jenna Cochimilio. And I was always hesitant to say, but I won it the year before, and I am still eating off a Year of Dining. So it's a great fundraising event, fun if you win it, and always just a fun time to be out with other members, sharing information and networking. Today's show is, I have a theme about elders or seniors. Some people don't like to be called elders. Some don't want to be called seniors, but whatever. Anybody over the age of like 55 now really comes into that category. But it's a subject that's near and dear to my heart. As I've said in previous shows, I've been serving the elder population now for close to 40 years, continue to do so in different capacities. So today, each of my two guests have a relationship with the senior population here in Malden. Both are chamber members, and it's always a pleasure to do that. So my first guest today is Karen Hayes, Director of Human Services and Community Outreach. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
So the first time you were on the show, you were just starting in the position. That was how long ago?
2 years
About
ago.
2 years?
Yeah,
Really?
definitely.
So it's good to have you back. Give us an
Thank you.
update. What's going on over there?
So much since we last met. I'm still loving it, which is a good thing. I think we talked about the last time that we were going to, one of my goals was to add some intergenerational activities. So that's been happening. We've added a lot of new programming, arts and drawing classes, and new transportation, lots of things going on at the senior center. So.
That's great. So transportation must be an important concept to get people to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So first thing I noticed too is I wanted to start building up, you know, and increasing the participation at the center. So what we did recently is we added SCM, which is Somerville, Cambridge, Malden, door to door. It was doing our grocery shopping and medical appointments, and so we added to have door-to-door transportation to the senior center. So anybody out there looking to come in, please utilize that. You could call our office for more information, and you can have literally door-to-door. And so the good thing about that is you know, any of our seniors with mobility issues can now come to the center and be helped in there. And we have, I think it has 2 wheelchair spots in the van. So that was a big move, and the seniors love it.
Good, and it's increasing your numbers.
It is.
So
yes.
Succeeded.
I've seen some people who haven't been here in a while, so that was great.
Okay. And what about the changing face of the senior population that comes in? Are you seeing much of a change?
So I'm trying to see more of a change. So we see typically the same. There's groups that come in, and they come from a lot of the housing for activities. So I was just trying to increase and bring different things to the center. So that has been working. I'd like to see more, but by bringing in different activities like the drawing and the painting classes, we actually had an art history class. So that was definitely, all of a sudden we saw different people coming in who wanted to do something other than the exercising and classes and the bingo. You know, seniors still want to learn and use their brain. I mean, like, it's not, yeah, you don't want to just sit around, and it's always good to learn new things. We have people drawing and painting who never picked up a paintbrush before. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I see you brought a newsletter with
I
you,
did.
so you want to just give a plug to
Well, yeah, you
how
can
people
actually
can
get
find
this
out.
online. So if you go to the City of Malden's website, thecityofmalden.org, and then you hit Senior Center or look up the monitor, you can actually get this online, and it has all of our activities, our calendar. It's really well organized about the new things we have, and on the front is a letter from the director which tells anything new or something that I want to highlight. Like this month was the transportation. Yeah, it's the first full month that we're having that. So that would be great. And you can see everything that we have to offer.
And you're also a meal site?
We are a meal site. Mystic Valley Elder Services brings meals in every day. They're great. Our meal, actually, that's something that I've noticed. That's the first time we've noticed the increase in the numbers because there's sometimes 70, 80 people there now. It's like everybody's noticing that. I look at it is packed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from people all different types and coming in. It's a $2 donation. If you don't have that, they don't question that, which is great. So seniors get a good meal at least once a day. So I love seeing that.
That's great. Yeah. And what about like a social worker or someone for resources and giving people direction?
Yeah, that would be great. We're still, that's
budget.
a goal of mine, definitely a budget goal of mine. We did have a nurse for a while, but in one of the, we do have them coming in for blood pressure, but an idea from, it was to partner with Malden's Public Health and have a nurse that also could do outreach. So as the Human Services Director, the good thing is I have all those resources, so I definitely meet with people. They send them in here now, and it's actually very helpful to be on site and be able to do that. And then we refer a lot to Mystic Valley, but that would be great. We have a social worker comes in for a grieving group, so that's good. And she's been helpful too. But I agree, that would be something definitely I would love to have.
And what about technology? Are you incorporating technology into your senior center? Are the seniors embracing technology?
So yes, actually they are. We have a great thing that we started actually, I think last summer with the youth employment program. So I managed that. So we had some youth come in and we called it Tech Time with Teens, and the seniors loved it. We actually had our cribbage group, a bunch of, it's probably like 10 men, and they were a little embarrassed to ask about it at first, and they loved it. They actually asked at the end of the course if like they could have certificates, and they were so proud of themselves. And the teens they're very patient. The other thing is phones now. Like they'll come in and ask, and sometimes they'll ask me too, but I'm actually not that great at it. But you know, something simple like, how do I get this picture at it? How can I send this? Like Facebook. So nothing big, you know, like Microsoft Word. They don't want to write letters or anything, but how you can keep up with my, you know, how I can keep up with my family through Facebook, and how do I order? That was another one. How do I get on Amazon and order from there? So Tech Time with Teens is great. That's
continuing.
Really well. It is continuing.
And it needs to, because it's ever-changing technology as well.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
They don't even know how to turn the phone on, like, or how do I put a picture? It's been fantastic to watch that whole program, and they look forward for them to come in because they wait with their questions. And sometimes I try to help them. I'm like, you're going to have to wait for the youth to come in.
Well, that's it.
Beyond me.
I don't know about you, but I depended on my daughters to get
me
me
too.
up and running, and every once in a while I'll still say, well, how do I go to my, you know, in my settings, what do I do about this? So, yeah, these tech teams.
And actually, Malden Access Television, they came over and did a program where they showed our seniors how to use the cameras, and then they were set up to film our programs or our entertainment, and then the seniors could watch them after if they couldn't make it. That was actually really great. And then Brian Biggie left, so that program kind of left.
Kind of died down a little bit. I know that when I was doing some programs over there, your auditorium was actually set up with the camera room or a control room, whatever you call it.
Yeah, it does. Right now, because City Hall is there until they move back, we haven't made use of that so much, but we do show movies out of it. But that's about it. And METV does come in and use that also.
Yeah.
Today they were in filming some stuff, so it's a great partnership.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Malden has a lot of great partnerships,
Yeah,
and again, I attribute the mayor and his staff, yourself included, just do a great job. Kevin Duffy, I have had Kevin on the show a few times
he's
with the
great.
business development, bringing new
Right.
business in here. It's great for the chamber. The chamber, of course, sits on your government affairs, and we share resources, and we help, you know, potential business owners coming in and get them to join. We hope we go to the ribbon cuttings and whatnot, and it's just a nice partnership all around the city.
Actually, the Joan, now they started having the representative from the chamber comes to the directors' meetings in the mayor's office every month. So it's great. Then we're all kept up on what's going on, and she gives an update, and she can hear what's going on around the city. So that works out really well.
Okay, so we're going to probably put up at the end of the show the number to reach you.
Okay, great.
But you just can give us a little idea of where you are. You can tell our viewers
Yeah, sure.
where you're located.
So we have a fantastic, beautiful building at 7 Washington Street. You can either give us a call at 781-397-7144, and we can tell you and help you out with all your needs. Or, again, look us up online and check out our monitor at cityofmalden.org. Thank you, and hope to see you. Come.
Yeah, and I hope to get down there. It's been a long time since I've been there.
Right. No, I hope.
I always said I was going to retire and take the yoga classes
You
there.
should. There.
Well, I should retire. I should
Oh,
retire.
yeah. Don't say.
Well, I did retire. I lasted 6 weeks, Karen. It wasn't for me. No, that's why I'm back. But yeah, okay. So I want to thank you for coming. I know you're busy. You have another meeting you have to get to.
Yeah.
So my best to you and in all of your seniors and in your youth, your tech group and everyone else. And I'll see you around.
Thank you so much.
All right?
It was a pleasure,
All
as
right.
always.
You take care. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll come back with our second guest. We'll see you back here in a minute. Century Bank bowling team. Welcome.
Thank you.
And also former secretary of the chamber for how many years?
My God, 20 or more.
20 or more years devoted to the Malden Chamber and devoted here with every Super Bowl attendance. And do I even need to ask you what your theme is tonight?
Check it out.
Look at all you girls, huh? Yeah, very nice. Oh, what, no necklace?
They won first place last year.
You won first place?
Yes, they did.
So were you excluded this year?
No.
Oh, I don't know if you can win 2 years in a row. I'll tell you, there's a very spirited team down there. You better make some noise.
Oh, okay.
So good luck bowling. Thank you for coming. And you are also selling tickets.
Year of Dining raffle tickets, $10, and you can win 52 weeks of dining in local restaurants in Malden. So.
Do you know who won last year? And I'm still eating. Yeah. So you're walking around tonight selling tickets, but any of you viewers, just call the Chamber of Commerce. Some of the restaurants are selling them or no?
No.
No. So Chamber of Commerce, PayPal, and purchase your tickets, and anybody who's here tonight can purchase them. It's a great deal, let me tell you. 52 weeks of dining. All right. Good luck tonight. I hope you win again, girls.
Thank you.
Aloha. Aloha. Here we are with the whole entire bowling team from Bread of Life, one of my favorite organizations in Malden. I think you all know Patty Kelly, former president of the chamber and new to the Bread of Life, but with her is a whole team here. I wish you all luck, and I just have to give a shout out to one person over here, Kathy McKenna, who is fellow nurse, and Kathy and I worked together at the original Malden VNA in the 1980s. We were like 10 years old in that time. But it's just great to see them all here. I wish you all luck and in your organization and your big capital campaign. So we've talked about that as well. Keep it in mind. All right, good luck tonight. Okay. And another guest we have here tonight is a face that you're all going to recognize, I hope. Jenna Cochimilio, former executive director of the Chamber. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
Back in Malden again?
I am back in Malden. I'm very excited to be back where I had the best time for sure.
And here you are to bowl. Are you a bowler?
I am a bowler. I'm an 8th grade champion bowler as well, many years ago, but I'm hoping those skills resurface.
So you're going for that Super Bowl. So if I remember correctly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you started the Super Bowl under your watch.
We did. It was with the help of Martin Tokos from Coldwell Banker. It was his idea, and we were able to kind of make it happen.
So this is like year 4 maybe?
Yeah.
4 years. So Jenna, former ED, here is a guest playing bowling tonight and going after that Super Bowl trophy. Good to see you. You look great. Nice to have you back. Take care. We're here with one of our bowling guests, Dennis Cataldo from Cataldo Ambulance. Welcome, Dennis.
Hey, Lisa, how are you?
I'm okay. So a very important question.
Shoot.
If somebody puts their back out tonight while they're bowling, who are you going to call?
I'd like to say we're going to call Ghostbusters, but I think we're going to call Cataldo Ambulance.
Absolutely. So, Dennis, long-time, strong supporter of the Chamber. Always appreciate everything you do. Have fun tonight. Enjoy your team. And I see Dan is back in Malden again.
Yes.
Nice to see him.
Back for this great event. Malden Chamber of Commerce, always doing great things for the community. So glad to be here.
All right. Thanks for having us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Chamber Showcase. Again, I'm Lisa O'Loughlin, host of the show, and with me is my second guest for this one, and it's Bill Mishkin from Homestead Senior Care.
Thank you for having me.
Full disclosure, you're my boss.
I'm really not sure of that.
Well, yeah, I am.
It might be the other way around.
I do work for Homestead Senior Care. I often refer to the work I do with elders, and it is with Homestead Senior Care in Melrose. Bill is a chamber member. We're just over the line in Melrose. But we service heavily in Malden. And as you heard me say, we're talking about elders today, senior care, seniors in general. And why don't you tell us a little bit about Homestead? Don't tell me because I know, but you can certainly tell our viewers.
Certainly. So Homestead was founded in 1994 in Omaha, Nebraska, when a couple, Paul and Lori Hogan, had a grandmother and they really didn't know what to do with her. She wanted to stay home. They couldn't figure out a way to do it. So they kind of figured out that they would piece some help together and be able to have her stay at home. And they said, you know, we can't be the only ones that have this problem. There must be other people that are out there. So from starting basically in the basement of their home, they've now grown to where there's 700 Homestead offices in North America and another 400 internationally. And we're a part of that. Each one of the Homesteads is independently owned, and I own the particular one that's in Melrose.
And that's why you're my boss.
Yep.
So you've been there for about 2 years?
About 2.5 now.
2.5 years. Yep. And I'm just curious to know, I know since I've come on, I've seen changes in our population that we service. And what have you seen for the biggest changes?
So I think from when Homestead first started, a lot of it was, let's take mom to the beauty parlor, let's take her to get her nails done. Maybe she has a few doctor's appointments, maybe we take her grocery shopping. But over the course of the last 20 plus years, actually Homestead is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, the difference in the acuteness of the illnesses of people that we work with is significantly more. And it's gone to where we are working much more with clients on personal care. And you know, the nice thing about what we do is we enhance the lives of seniors every day in their home, and that's wherever that home might be. It might be in a daughter's house where they're staying, in their own home, or it might even be in an assisted living facility where there's care that needs to be provided for them that the facility can't provide.
We're actually in some rehabs as well, and
Yes,
some
we are.
long-term care facilities.
Yes, we are.
Because the family wants really one-on-one.
Yes.
And you don't get that in a facility or in a rehab. Yeah, you know, so as you know, and as many of our viewers might know, I worked for VNA for years and saw a change there first. And then I got into the private home care and elder care management services, and I continually see changes. They are much more acute. Hospital lengths of stay are shorter. Some people do not want to go to a rehab, or they're in a rehab for a short period of time. But I think the biggest change that I've seen is the increase in dementia.
Yes.
And the challenges that that brings.
No question. And as we live in a society which was based on people passing away at age 71, and now we're blowing by those numbers, and we have clients in their 80s, 90s, and even triple digits.
We do have some triple digits.
Dementia is a huge part of what happens with a lot of people associated with a lot of different diseases such as Parkinson's, etc. And we're just seeing more and more of that. And physically, people may be fairly well, but you know, they're just losing portions of their minds. Very interesting, though, that as people get inverted into themselves, we just don't quite know what they're thinking. As much as there's been research on dementia, they're really not quite sure what the causes are, nor is there any real solution as of yet. So what our folks really try to do is, through our training, is to try to redirect people, keep people active, have conversations with them. And one of the things that's really interesting that you find a lot of times is that the senior, the elder may seem non-conversant until you push a couple of buttons. So one of the things that we saw recently, there's a special that's on for anybody that gets Amazon Prime. It's called Alive Inside, and it's about a person's mission who discovered that music can awaken people. And it's fascinating to watch. In fact, so fascinating to watch that we played it at our staff meeting last week.
We did.
And it's and all of a sudden, the music memories that they have come back to them, and all of a sudden you can watch that person come alive and start to have a conversation. And people that have been, you know, almost comatose for 7 or 8 years, all of a sudden, boom, they pop and they come back.
They're keeping the beat.
Yeah. And, you know, I've been fortunate to see some people that have been in these holes in their lives with dementia, and all of a sudden they have these lucid moments, and you get to learn about them in their lives, and there's so much that's there. So it's really just an opportunity for us. You know, we've gone to an age where we've changed care from seniors to care like hospitalization is. And that's really sad. And now I think you see with all the baby boomers that are coming up, they don't want that for their parents. They want something different. They want them to be able to live home. They want them to be comfortable. And there's nothing like being in their own house.
Right. Sometimes the challenge is meeting the needs of the elder while pleasing the baby boomer daughter and son, because it's a fine balancing act, you know.
There's a lot of dynamics that are going on
there certainly is, yeah.
Yeah.
And as you know, but I want to just bring up, because of the acuity of our clients, we work closely with VNAs,
Yes.
the PTs, the OTs, or we make sure that we know how to do that particular transfer for that particular client, and then we
Yes.
teach our caregivers right along the whole time, because it's a challenge.
And, you know, our slogan is, as you know, to us it's personal. Each person's different, each client's different, each situation is different. And we're very adaptive to what the needs are of the individual. And also there's a fluidity that's involved in this, because we get people in what they call that continuum of care, and they may be here, and sometimes they get better, and sometimes it slides to the other way. So by having folks like Lisa, who's a registered nurse, being able to go out and see our clients, we can see what that baseline is and if it's changing and if they need more care or they need different types of people working with them as it kind of evolves.
So you heard our former guest Karen talking about
Yes.
her, I wish I could get that straight, teen tech talk, or it was
Yes.
all T words, but
Yep.
You're bringing technology into Homestead and Melrose.
Yes.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So a lot of the challenges with families today is leaving a loved one alone. And the question is how much care, personal care of a person being in the home do they really need? So we're experimenting right now. We're doing a pilot program with a technology item called LifePod. And it's basically Alexa based, and it will give people reminders during the day. If they wake up at 9 o'clock, they say, "Hi Lisa, how was your night this morning? Did you have a good night?" And based upon the algorithms of what the answers are, can determine whether we need to give a call to the family or send somebody over or see what's going on. So it doesn't have to be somebody in the house 24/7. In addition to that, we're working with a company called GrandPad that's actually a part of Home Instead now, and it's actually a small iPad that's based for a senior to be able to use. And it's really neat in terms of, it has large buttons and people can connect with their families, and it's a way for the families to connect with them through like a FaceTime app so they can see and talk to them. And one of the big problems of living as seniors alone is the isolation. And this really helps to combat that.
Right, right. It's an exciting adventure, I think, for all of us. And just hearing Karen talk about having the teens down there to help seniors with a simple telephone app, when I think of this, we might need to reach out a little bit and get some other resources in. So I also just want to mention quickly, you have other ties to Malden, even though you work in Melrose.
I do. My family's been in Malden for 70 years. My wife's family is Cappy's Liquors. The girls were all raised here. My mother-in-law is still around, and Ralph Kaplan was the founder. And they've probably been in business in Malden for over 60 years.
Yeah. He's a very generous contributor
Yes,
to the chamber.
Yes, he was always very generous with everything.
Yeah, with everything, yes.
And my wife actually taught at Malden High School
Aha.
when she got out of college.
I knew she was a teacher.
Yeah,
I didn't
she
know
taught.
that.
She taught there for the first 5
Really?
years until Proposition 2.5 came in and she got laid off.
There you go. Yeah. So even though you are in Melrose, you are strong roots in Malden.
Yes.
And again, you do a great job. And again, full disclosure, I'm not saying this. I'm not getting a raise for doing this. I'm not even going to get probably
In fact, you might
maybe
get
a
a
cup of
deduction
coffee.
if you don't say the
Yeah,
right
well,
things.
anyway, that could be too. But I just think that in my line of work, in my 40 years or so of doing it, it's a pleasure working with Home Instead. And if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't be back here because I had left the city and left the work, and the chamber came to you and said, "Can she come back?" And it's your time. So here I am. So I can thank you for that as well.
You're entirely welcome.
All
But
right.
thank you. Lisa brings a lot to the plate with her knowledge and being involved with gerontology for such a long time and working with so many seniors, and her knowledge and her expertise has really been priceless to us in helping us to understand what the needs of elders are.
Thank you. You don't get a raise either for that. So, okay. So that pretty much wraps up our show today. Just want to mention that we're going to have a busy fall. The next big event coming up is Comedy Night, and my next show will be devoted directly to Comedy Night, which is a major fundraiser.
And we will be a sponsor.
And
Yeah.
Home Instead is a sponsor. Yeah, I think that's great. And I'll see you here next month. Please do visit the chamber website, see what's going on, and come to our networking events. It really is good. And I always say, a healthy community makes a healthy chamber, and a healthy chamber business community makes healthy residents. So join us again next month. Thanks for being here. Good night.